Hello, and welcome back to OlympusCraft. We are here on the server today, and I am standing on top of my quartz base. Now, I noticed something a little bit different over here. And what is that? Snowy. Let's take a look. I don't remember there being a snowy biome here. And ice? What do we have going on here? So I'm acting like I don't really know what's going on here, but that's not the case. We are now officially on 1.18.1, as you see in the top left here. So we have gone through and we have updated our server. And in the process of updating that server, we have gone and removed a bunch of unused chunks. Like those chunks over there, those are being used. And then the chunks where my base are at, those are being used. But the areas in between that we have not occupied for more than it was like 10 minutes or something like that, we removed. And so what that allows is for some brand new terrain generation on this 1.18. And one of the best examples of this is right over here at Fuzzy's base. We can turn right and look at that mountain. That is absolutely insane. There's Fuzzy's base and all of its glory. We can fly up here a little bit more. Look at that. And then we turn right and this mountain is just jutting out of the ground. This thing looks absolutely incredible. This one is called Frozen Peaks. Yeah, I got my mini head working so I can see. This is Frozen Peaks. We have some goats and some rabbits and the other snowy stuff. Now I have noticed that the seeds did seem to change a little bit between 1.17 and 1.18, which I think was expected. With the 1.18, we are seeing a lot more cold biomes, I guess, in this seed, which is kind of odd. Oh, there's another great mountain. That big old valley, some caves, just absolutely incredible terrain generation, and I love every minute of it. And we're flying over here through this village, and I notice an opening to a dripstone cave. Look at that. Kind of a weird way to generate a village, but nonetheless, this is still a crazy looking cave. Look at this ravine, and then the mountain out there behind it. Oh, this is crazy. I about fell. So let's fly on down through here. Let's see how far we can get. Trying to impale myself on one of these spikes. Mobs everywhere. But look at this massive cave. We'll head on down even farther here. And just the size of these caves is incredible. This one goes even to, there's a nice geode there opened. Ooh, hold on, we gotta stop real quick and just go ahead and, excuse me, thank you. Grab that. But yeah, we have officially updated to 1.18.1. So we are going to be playing in our existing world with a bunch of newly generated chunks. Now, one of the things we did do is, like I said, we left the chunks that we had been building in. So we didn't remove anything that, was, that had been being used. So what that also means is that everywhere that our bases are at, ouch, they also have the newly generated terrain underneath our bases. So we can go through and we can dig down underneath our base once again and rediscover some new stuff between the levels of Y0 and the negative Y levels. And here we are at another crazy mountain range. Waterfalls. The terrain generation is just something else. This looks much more natural is the word I want to use. Much more natural, much more real. And it's just crazy to see all of this stuff in a game that we never, saw this kind of terrain generation before. We saw just, basic blocky hills and things like that. Now we have some insane terrain generation. The biome blending is not too bad. I noticed it's not been, 100% perfect, but for the most part, the biome blending in itself has been, pretty good. Even with the areas that we modified, we're noticing that it's not too blocky and not too sharply cut off between the old generation and the new generation. So as part of all this new generation, one of the things we really wanted to start up and do was to start a new base area. Now, I'm not abandoning my base from before. It's still going to be there, we're still going to use it, and it's still going to be my main area of operation, I guess you would say. But we decided one of the cool things we could do with this great terrain would be to, maybe build together a little bit more. So what we decided to do is we took this section here. This is like a figure 8 style mountain here. It kind of goes out and around. We'll go this way. There's another cavern area here. And yeah, we've already kind of started a little bit. Sturcat, CWG, Jack, Ellie, I think. And there's probably a few more that I'm missing. We've all decided we're all going to build some crazy bases in this general area. We've got ourselves a portal here, some other stuff, and then kind of sneak peek there on the left. Jack has already started building over on his side over there. This is going to be Jack's area. And then over here, this one here, this is mine. I have already started on the outline. I have done some other work in between. I actually ran out of quartz doing all of this. I thought I had more than I was going to need, but nope, I was very wrong. But yeah, I have started on a new mega base. Now, this is going to kind of be very similar to the mega base that I built earlier and where we started off this episode at. And this one's going to be a little bit bigger, though, and it's going to be a little bit different. This is not going to be, I don't know, quite as functional, I guess you would say. This is going to be more aesthetic. So a little sneak peek here. I'm going to be going for Tony Stark's mansion from the Avengers movies. And that's going to kind of be my awesome base that I'm going to build up here in this mountain. I'm going to be right beside Jack over here. He has been building, I'm not sure what he's building yet, but this is a really cool looking kind of ice bridge or, beginning to a wall or something like that. And as you can see, he's still working there. He's got stuff down there. So a lot left to do because we just got started. And flying up here, you can kind of get a little bit of a sense of scale of how big this thing's going to be. It's going to be massive. It's going to continue on down around, out through this way, and then kind of curve back. I'm going to have to remove some of this mountain, maybe like these smaller sections in through here. But overall, I shouldn't have to really worry about removing a bunch of the mountain because I want this thing to kind of blend into the mountain like you would expect to see a house like this built on. And so it's going to look really cool. I've just gotten started and I've got a whole lot more to go. So I will be sure to keep you guys updated as I make more progress on this. And just looking from back here, this is just incredible. This is going to be wild looking, especially once Sturcat and CWG have all their stuff going. Ellie gets her stuff going. And I believe Pushlem is going to be building his Ministry of Magic somewhere in this area as well. I'm not sure exactly where. I don't know if he's going down in here or if he was going to be going over here on the backside. I think he was going to be going back in here, but I'm not entirely sure. But altogether, this area is going to be, just insane. So much stuff being built, so much cool stuff to explore and see. So over here at the industrial area, I have done a little bit of work in here. I have added some light around the top here and a little bit of light around the exit hole here. And I also started on the walls. Now, I'm not 100% sure this is what I'm going to end up with design-wise, but I like the addition of, the contrast between these two sets of blocks. A little bit darker deep slate tiles and then the deep slate bricks there. That was a nice little contrast. And then the red just kind of adds a little pop of color. You'll also notice the floor is one block lower. I had to lower everything down. I realized that my storage through here was just not quite big enough. I needed a little bit of extra, room to kind of store some stuff. I was completely full up on, I still am on some of this, completely full up on a lot of things, and having that extra chest down at the bottom really made a big difference. Just gives me another double chest worth of storage for each of the items. Including things like bamboo, which pretty much stays consistently full. And then over here, kelp. I have an additional storage of kelp. I have an additional storage of dried kelp down here, which this fills up pretty fast because it's auto smelting. And then, yeah, this is pretty much it. I also added a second output chest. So as my smelter smelts things, I actually have 2 chests here that I can output into instead of just the one. So it allows me to dump a whole lot more stuff in on the top. Like, and when it's halfway done smelting, I can just dump some more in, kind of deal. I don't have to worry about it filling up the output chest and then breaking the actual system itself. So let's head up to the top, and you'll see on the backside, I added a little water elevator here. This is much more convenient to get to the top. And up here, we have made a few changes up here. We added over on this side right here, you'll see a massive sugarcane farm. Now, one of the things I was needing, well, it wasn't really me that was needing it. One of the things another player was needing was a ton of sugarcane, and I just fell into the farm. And one of the easiest ways to harvest sugarcane is with flying machines. So I actually have 2 flying machines right here, and they just fly along here and chop the sugarcane down. I use a lot of timing circuits and stuff like that, but I use a daylight sensor, and it harvests it twice, I guess it would say twice per day. Whenever the sun goes down, it harvests it, and then whenever the sun comes up, it harvests it as well. So right now it is just kind of sitting there idle, but the sun is coming up, and here pretty soon that daylight sensor will increase in power enough to trip these 2 repeaters right here. And they're kind of alternated a little bit too. One of these is for the minecarts, and the other one is actually for the operation of the flying machine. So it requires almost full daylight, which gives enough time for the sugarcane to kind of grow up enough to where it can harvest it. Right now, you'll see not too many of the pieces are actually ready to harvest because I haven't been loading this area for a little while now, but some of them are. But if I let this go a little bit longer, or if I just AFK here at the industrial area, all of this stuff will grow up to be about 3 high, and then it will harvest all of it. And then it's picked up by the minecarts and distributed down into my storage system. And there they go. It just got enough daylight to where the flying machine's kicked off, and they will travel through, cut all the sugarcane down, and then transport it back into my storage. The only other thing I have added is right back here. This is just a really basic netherwort farm. We need netherwort for potions and stuff like that, and this was just an easier way to do it. I have quite a bit already, but I'm going to need more. We need a ton of netherwort, both for, dyeing and making red nether bricks, and, for potions. We need that first ingredient for a lot of the potions. So these dispensers are just filled with water buckets, and then it's just very simple. It looks like it's about ready to harvest, so I'll harvest it anyway. I just press the button. It sends a redstone signal, activates them all, and it all falls up front here. And then as soon as it's done, I can just click that, and the water will go away. And then I just grab some of the netherwort here, and I replant it all. It's kind of a hassle because there's no way to really fully automate this because it never grows more than 1 block high. So I can't use a flying machine or something like that to just harvest it and let it regrow kind of deal like you can with sugarcane and bamboo. But this is a good enough system for what I have right now. I'm sure there's probably better ways or bigger farms, but this works. And it's also really fun to run on because you get that super soul speed. And we're here on the camera account just taking a look around, and you'll notice, see at the bottom of this this slime farm, I still never have finished it, but it produces well. Bottom of the slime farm, at the very bottom here, these deep slate blocks actually used to be bedrock. This was dug clear down to the bottom, down to bedrock. And one of the cool things about 1.18 is now there's a whole world below it. Some of these caves just intertwine. There's additional spawners. There is a massive dripstone cave down here underneath my base. And I'm not going to use the camera account or anything like that to find out where things are at and stuff like that. I just kind of wanted to show it off a little bit. I know a lot of this used to be bedrock down at this lava level here, I think. And it has been replaced with deep slate and a whole bunch more area underneath. So we are going to have to go do some mining and do a little bit more exploration of this area that is underneath our industrial district and our base. We spend a lot of time in the industrial district, so if there is something in here that we can use, like a spawner or, actually there's one right there, and dripstone caves or things like that, or even geodes that have generated now underneath this, we can take advantage of that because we'll be AFKing in these areas as well. So yeah, a lot of my time here recently has been spent working on the server itself, actually. So I am the server admin here for OlympusCraft, and it's been a whole lot of work trying to get everything set up and working on 1.18 and everything compatible has been an absolute challenge. So I apologize, I haven't been recording a whole lot here lately. Most of my time has been spent, working on the technical side of things. And if you guys are actually interested, I would be happy to do a video on the technical side of hosting a server of this scale. The world size and the amount of stuff we're doing and the amount of farms and lag and stuff like that is comparable to that of Hermitcraft at times. So if you guys are interested in how to run a high-performance server, maybe let me know in the comments. Maybe I'll do a technical video for those of you technical folks who may want to run a server at this scale. Oh, and I am the only one online right now, but I will mention how to run a server at this scale and be completely lag-free. Well, everyone, that is it for today. I appreciate you tagging along. Again, sorry I wasn't able to record a whole lot here on this brand new 1.18 update. It's been a lot of work here getting to this point, and I haven't been able to do a whole lot of actual playing. Most of my time has been spent, like I said, working on all the 1.18 stuff and making sure it all works correctly. But also including over here on the basically Minecraft side of the server, we did the same thing over here. All of their chunks that weren't being used were were regenerated, so they will have all those cool features and stuff as well, all the new mountains, things like that. And they also have all the brand new generation underneath all of the existing chunks. Well, that's going to be it for me today. I appreciate you guys tagging along. I'm going to be working a lot here. I have a lot of resources to gather here. I have a lot of other stuff to do because we're going to be getting ready for that mega giga style base that we're going to be doing with the combination of 4 or 5, maybe even 6 of us, all building over in that one really cool, freshly generated area. Thank you guys so much. I will see you all on the next episode.